Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Redskins Talk TV. This is your host, Dre. I just wanted to have to do a remake of the video because I had too many errors. Anyway, we beat the New York Giants 20-14. This is a pivotal division game with us and them to fight for first place in the NFC East. Right now, we're half game up on the New York Giants. They did beat us early in the season, but overall, we have a better record in the NFC. That's why we are in first place for the time being. So right now, we're 5-6. The Giants are 5-6. Then the Eagles, then the punk-ass Dallas Cowgirls. But with this game, I just want to talk about the offense. Mainly, we did a decent job on offense. I know Kirk Cousins, he had a near pick six. With the defensive back. Fortunately, the defensive back dropped the ball. Otherwise, would have been off to the races, and the complexion of the game would have been much different. But drops happen because we've had it before, so we know all about that. Now, in terms of Kirk Cousins, he got the ball down the field. There were a couple of times where he missed a couple of throws. But overall, no turnovers for Kirk Cousins, because a lot of times when we have turnovers, it shakes his confidence, and part of his gameplay is hindered because of that, because he keeps it too much in his mind. But overall, he did pretty well. Didn't get sacked too often. Got hurt a couple of times. On the ground, we were able to get out a decent run game. Not what I like, because I like to see Alfred Morris get more touches on the ball. He had like 23 touches for 78 yards. Matt Jones had a couple of plays. Not too much on the ground for him. I do kind of cringe because of his propensity to put the ball on the ground, but I think now he's realized that after 12 games, keeping the ball held tight and cradled, hopefully that'll prevent that from him getting stripped in the future. But overall, good to see Deshaun Jackson got like a 63-yard touchdown bomb from Kirk Cousins. So some people were complaining about Kirk Cousins' arm strength, but he put that right in the basket, caught Deshaun Jackson in stride. He didn't really have to ease up on his speed too much and was able to just walk it into the end zone from there. So he beat two defenders. Pierre Garçon had a couple good plays. Jordan Reed had a couple good plays. But with Jordan Reed in particular, I know I've been on him primarily because of, one, his for some reason, when he gets the ball, he likes to run laterally, and that really pisses me off, because there was an opportunity to where he could have scored a touchdown when we were in the red zone, but he kind of ran laterally instead of turning up the field. So I really hope that the tight end coach speaks with him about that, because we need all the positive yardage. And it's true that if you're running laterally, it's almost like you're running and standing still. That's something that we don't need. We need, for every opportunity to score or to get closer to the goal line, we need that to present itself. But that all depends on the pass catcher and their ability to get those yards after the catch, not running sideways to the sideline, but getting up the field. Now, as far as also with Jordan Reed, had a couple of key penalties, just like last week. I know there was one run with Kirk Cousins that had us down to the end zone, and a holding call by Jordan Reed had us backed out beyond the 20. So he had a couple of holding calls this play. And then, of course, blocking. Something with our tight ends where they're good pass catchers, but piss poor at blocking, and it's not helping our run game. I know number 84, Carrier, Jordan, none of those guys are impressing me with their blocking, especially when it comes to the run support, because they're not holding, but they're not sealing the edges to allow for our runners to get outside if that's the play that's called for. That's really disconcerting to me, so we really need to work on that, because we have a tough game, especially coming up Monday Night Football against the punk-ass Dallas Cowboys. But with this game, Jordan Reed and the tight end group did not help much when it comes to the running game. And as much as I like him as a pass catcher, Jordan Reed, he can be a game changer. He's not helping the offensive line. He's not helping either Matt Jones or Alfred Morris when it comes to the running game. And I know I keep repeating that, but that is so very crucial, because in order for us to be a stronger contender, we need a very solid run game, because we cannot be one-dimensional. We cannot keep relying on Kirk Cousins to pass 30, 40 times a game. We need to take some of that pressure, get those men in the box because they're trying to stop the run, and then it opens up man-on-man coverage from the outside with our wide receivers. That's the most important thing. But also, our defense, for the most part, our defense held up pretty well. However, we had the game in the middle of the third quarter, 17-0, and Wilt Blackman got beat. 4th and 16. How the fuck do you beat or get beat on a 4th and 16 and a conversion for a touchdown? The Giants went for it. Ruben Randall, who had been stymied almost the entire game, got behind Blackman simply because Blackman was too busy trying to spy Eli Manning. You weren't in press coverage. You're about 5 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. So keeping the wide receiver in front of you to make sure that he doesn't try any in routes, out routes. But by the time Randall got behind him, it was too late, and that's when he realized that the ball was coming his way, and Deshaun Golston was too far off, so there was no opportunity for the safety to get over to help in that regard. So it was a conversion for a touchdown. Almost made me throw up in my mouth because that kind of play should never happen, and that's just a lack of discipline from our defense, and that's the difference between a good team and one that's struggling to make it to the top, and that's what we are. We're struggling. Yes, we're in the lead for the NFC East, but with 5 games left, we have to be able to dominate in all aspects, or at least make the games more competitive. That's something that we were able to do for the most part today, but being able to hold down teams, because Eli Manning, he's got a lot more fourth quarter comebacks, and we were able to stop him today, but Blackman got beat twice. And that should have never happened. And, on Facebook, one guy is arguing that it's the offense's fault because we didn't score when we were able to capitalize on the turnovers. Yes, we got turnovers, and that's always good because that stops the march for Eli in game. However, it's up to the defense to stop the opposing team from scoring. So that's just basic football. You even learn that when you're playing Madden. You score points, don't let the other team score points. So no matter how you argue it, it's our defense's fault that 14 points were put up by the Giants. It's not up to Kirk Cousins or anyone on the offense, because we're not trying to defend against Eli Manning from the offensive group. It's the defense and their ability to stop the plays that are in front of them. And unfortunately, Will Blackman got beat twice. So again, I'm glad that we won. A win is always better than a loss. However, in order for us to be stronger contenders in the NFC, because if by chance we do make it to the playoffs, and I really don't care much about that right now because I'm caring about the fact that we got this win today, and we have to be prepared for Monday Night Football against another division rival with the bitch-ass Dallas Cowgirls. But that's what it's all about. So again, I'm happy that we won. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I think overall, as a unit, we play well enough to earn this win. But there's so much more that we can do, especially when we have the other team backpedaling. And I was hoping for a shutout, but I'm not one to speak too soon, especially when there's plenty of time left in a game, because we always have this second half breakdown, which we almost had today, and it was a nail biter. Those are the kind of games that we as Redskins fans don't like. We want a game that's very convincing. Should we expect a 40-0 blowout? No, not at all. But when it all hinges on whether the team can get a touchdown and overtake the lead or something that's close, there's no reason why we should have our asses puckered as Redskins fans. We've gone through enough adversity over the past couple of seasons, especially after sipping on the Kool-Aid from a 2012 season, and we can't keep living on the past. But a win is a win. We got the win today against the Giants. We were able to even things out there. We still have the Eagles for one more game. We have 2 games against the Cowgirls, and then we have one other opponent. I have to look at the schedule to see who that is. But all in all, I'm looking forward to Monday Night Football. I will be at work. I'm here in South Texas, so it's going to be a whole bunch of shit talking. Anyway, if you like this video, I hope that you like, subscribe, and share. And to my Redskins family, hell to the Redskins.